Buonasera a tutti amici di Radio Bombay, siamo qui all'Urban Live Music Club con un ospite d'eccezione che è Mike Joyce.
Hi.
Welcome to Perugia, Mike.
Thank you very much.
So we have some little small questions about your career and your experience in Smiths.
Sure.
and your DJ setting right now. So the first question is, what it is like 25 years later to have been part of a so important band?
Well, it's an incredible experience, really. It's 30 years actually this year, because we did form in 1982, so 30 years, it's a long time. It doesn't feel like 30 years, it feels like it was just yesterday. But it was a very unique experience to be involved in a group so important. I feel very honoured, obviously, to be in touch with that at that time and with those people. And now it's a great part of musical history.
Yes.
So to have that behind me is yeah, it's a great feeling.
Good, good. So, could you tell us the best and the worst memory about the Smiths band? Your experience in the Smiths, the best and the worst.
The best memory, well, I suppose, is when we recorded Hand in Glove, the first record.
Yeah.
Because that was a seminal moment for the group. And prior to that, we'd been in a rehearsal room playing the music. And we just heard it in a room, not much bigger than this room. So to actually hear a record for the first time of what the group sounded like was probably, yeah, the most important time.
And the worst?
That's a difficult one. I don't dwell upon those moments really. I tend to forget those moments.
Okay.
I think I don't really want to kind of dwell upon them, so they've gone. I can't think of anything actually, to be honest with you.
Oh, good. That's a good. So, the last question about the Smiths. What do you think about the others' component careers after the Smiths experience?
What do I think about their careers?
Their careers.
Well, they've been very successful. Johnny and Morrissey have been very successful in their own right, and that's only to be expected. Incredibly talented guitarist, an incredibly talented singer and lyricist.
Yes.
The best I've worked with ever. So I think that was only going to happen, that they would carry on as solo artists and become very successful themselves. Myself and Andy did some work as well outside of the Smiths, after the Smiths, and I was very happy with that career as well. So we've all done something in music and made our mark outside of the Smiths, I think.
Ah, okay. So, that's a question about our times. What impact has had internet, YouTube, Facebook, and particularly the videos posted on Facebook on the music? So the question is, do you think that the music is listened more superficially instead of the LP era?
Yes, in a word, I think it is, and I think that the artwork is lost. The physicality of holding an object, and when you look at a picture, you don't have it on a small little screen. When you look at a piece of art, you want to see in its glory, in the size it should be, and of course, well, absolutely, especially with sleeves being this size, then I think the artwork has definitely gone. I think the internet is a great tool for groups to be able to get themselves heard without a record deal, because you don't need a record deal to get your music heard anymore, whereas in the 80s the idea of your music being heard in Italy or anywhere else for that matter would have been impossible. It would have you would have had to have physically gone and played in those places. So in terms of a promotional tool and in terms of the way that the music can be heard worldwide, it's great for that, but it does seem to take away from the original idea of, especially the artwork. I think more so than anything, the artwork has suffered, and I suppose I can say that because Morrissey's artwork was so brilliant.
Okay, so this question was linked directly to the next one, but I think you answered yet. So, which advice would you give to a new band to make success in these times? So, and the question you just answered is: do you think that internet could represent an advantage for new bands to get?
Well, of course, I answered the second part of
Yeah.
that, but the first part, I'm not really in a position to give anybody any advice, really.
Do you think so?
No, I don't think so. I think that if you know what to do, then you do it. It's a bit like, you know, the groups that will become successful will become successful. Internet, no internet, it doesn't really matter. The groups that will really work hard and that are good enough will become successful. There's a saying in England that the cream always comes to the top, and I think that's true. If the group is good enough and the songs are good enough and they have an interesting kind of way of expressing themselves, then I don't think there's any reason why they shouldn't be successful. I can't really give advice to anybody because really it's up to the individual how they want to do it. They'll just follow the route that their passion and that their heart takes them in, and that should be enough.
Great. That's a good answer. So, what's your favorite band ever? And what kind of music or bands are you listening to in this period?
My favourite band ever is a band called Buzzcocks from Manchester. That's the reason why I started playing drums in the first place.
Oh, great.
I went to see them play in Manchester, and I thought, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I want to be in a band. That sounds like that. And I wasn't a million miles away from a band that sounded like Buzzcocks with the Smiths.
Yeah, from the Smiths, miles apart from the sound.
Yeah, but it's. I think it's the music now. There's so many groups around that I really like. There's lots of Manchester bands or bands from Manchester, Delphic, Everything, Dutch Uncles. There's a new band from Liverpool called Outfit that I really like. There's a lot of American bands as well. Seems like quite a lot from New York as well that I do like. I like Toro y Moi, but I think he's from Washington. Not too sure whether he's from New York. But really, I like individual songs rather than groups at the moment. I think I'm just diving into just one track. One track will do for me at the moment. But there's I like a band called Pepe Deluxe. They're from Finland.
From Finland?
Yes, yeah, quite an interesting group.
Yeah.
But there's millions and millions of bands that I like at the moment. Metric, they just had a new album out. A phenomenal handclap band. I think they sound absolutely brilliant. The Twilight Sad, a Scottish band. But I can go on. There's music is healthy at the moment, I think, and I think that's going back to the other question. I think that's partly because of the internet, because people are seeing what everybody else is doing a lot quicker, so your influences can be broadened.
Yeah, it's
quite
a great
immediate.
stage. It's a great stage.
Yeah, so you can see what everybody else is doing around the world to inspire you and to maybe influence you in some way, rather than just thinking from your own corner. You're listening to all the other kind of music, that's what we all do. We all kind of borrow or steal from other people ideas and make it your own.
Yeah, good. So the last question. Let's talk about tonight. Which kind of music are you going to play in your set?
I'm going to play a night of opera. I think so, just to make it a bit different now. I think I'm going to play some new music. I'm going to play some kind of classic indie rock. I'm going to play maybe some dance music, some electronic music. I don't really have a certain style that I like to play. I like the idea of a room being like a party.
Yeah.
If I go to a party and I enjoy the night, I'm not really that bothered about the music, as long as I'm having a good time. So good. Really, I want people to have a good night and have a party and enjoy the night, rather than, I like this record, I don't like this record. Yeah. To me, it's not that important. It should be just a soundtrack for them to have a great night, and they don't have to be on the dance floor. They can just be having a good night in the club. And from what I've seen of the club so far, I think we're going to do that tonight.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
So, just another question. Can you please say happy birthday to Radio Bombay, which is 3 years old radio?
I'll say it to the camera. Happy birthday, Radio Bombay, and let's another 3 years coming in the future.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.